BanjoBenClark.com. This is Banjo Ben, your host on the website that teaches you how to play banjo and guitar and mandolin. Merry Christmas, y'all. We're at the height of the Christmas season. I had a request last week to teach Silent Night on mandolin. So we're going to do it in the key of D. Now the melody we don't mess with very much. It's a straight ahead melody. But what this lesson is really about, besides teaching you the melody, is how to take the chords of the song, find out different voicings to play the chord with so that it fits underneath your melody. So we can add our own harmony. We can be our own accompanier, if that's a word. All right. So if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, here in a moment I'll ask you to come over to the website, BanjoBenClark.com. You can join as a Gold Peak member, have access to this lesson, hundreds of others. It's about a 15-minute video lesson. Then I have MP3 rhythm tracks that you can practice along with, as well as the tabs in PDF and TIFF file format. So without further ado, Merry Christmas to y'all, and let's learn this version of Silent Night. Today we're going to learn a beautiful version of Silent Night in the key of D on mandolin. But more than that, we're also going to learn how to take chords, the chords for the song, and add them beneath the basic melody so that we can spice up that melody a little bit and add some harmonies. Let's go ahead and throw up the first line of tab. A couple things you'll notice is beneath each one of those notes I have those little black arrows. That's our pick direction arrows, but honestly, it's going so slow you could do the whole thing with just down strokes. But I just put those there because that's what I typically will use. Also, you'll notice the melody is outlined in those little boxes. So the first thing you might want to do, if you're a Gold Peak member here on the site, you can just download that tab and just go through and practice that basic melody. It's written out exactly as you've always sung it in the key of D. Now, a couple things we need to know before we start doing this. One is, what key is the song in? Okay, so we know it's in D. And then also, what chords do we want to use? Okay, most of us know the chords to the songs, but if we don't, we can look them up. Or if you're playing with a guitar player or something, you can ask them what the chords are. But we need to identify those chords, figure out the different ways we might be able to play them while playing our melody with them. So let's think about the D chord, because that's what we're going to be playing over for the first four measures. And there's a couple different D chords that we're going to use today. One is that open D chords that perhaps you've learned, and that's when you just fret the second fret on both the first and the last strings. You leave those middle two strings open, and it sounds like this. So we're going to use that or parts of it to lay beneath our melody. And then the other D chord we're going to use is this chop chord, this three-finger chord here, where we have our middle finger on the 5th fret of the A string, index finger on the 4th fret of the D, ring finger comes up on the 7th fret of the G. When you play those three together. So we'll be using that position or parts of it as well. Now as we think about our basic melody, and this is in 3/4 time, there's 3 beats per measure, but if we just think about our basic melody, it sounds like this. So how can I play a D chord underneath that to offer me some harmony? Well, we're looking for this A chord. Is there one of these A chords or one of these D chords that we find an A note? Well, in this one we don't have an A note there, but in this chord we have that A note. So how about we play a partial chord? You could play the whole thing, but we're just going to leave the melody on top. So I'm going to grab that 2nd fret down there, and I'm going to brush through. That's what that little B stands for with the arrow. And I'm going to brush through till I get to my melody note. Silent night. So after we brush that, we can reach down with our middle finger and play the rest of the melody. So now our melody goes down here to this F sharp note. Now we could just leave this index finger down and play that F sharp and that'd be fine. So it'd sound like this. But I wanted to change that bass note that we're hearing. So I'm going to come up to this D chord that we've learned, which also plays that F sharp, but this time we're going to catch that 7th fret beneath it, which is a D note. So that sounds good to have that root down there. So when we put measures 1 and 2 together, they sound like this. That sounds pretty, doesn't it? So we haven't done any kind of rocket surgery here. All we've done is identified the basic melody and then looked at what chord is beneath it and found a couple different ways to play the chord that includes our melody note. Let's do that again. That was fun. When we go to measure 5, we have a chord change.